welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the grand final, or just the final. It's not that grand, but it's pretty cool still, nevertheless. It is, of course, Team Amogus versus Cybran Enjoyers. Two very epic names, and I am excited to bring you the number 2 lineup for the 1v1s. Again, this is a best out of 5. And let's introduce our players. On the left-hand side, representing Team Cybran Enjoyers, it is our red Aeon Commander with the name of the Bronx, also known as Maganra. And he is opening up with a double research station. That is honestly very, very risky. But I'm sure he's going for teleport, so we'll see how his opponent handles it. His opponent is representing Team Amogus. It is OSS Frost, my clanmate, spawning in as the white Aeon Commander and opening up with a research station as well. So actually not that different. I didn't see that research station early enough, but Frost should now see the double research going into that double. Well, actually he only sees one. And that engineer is going to get bombs, so that's going to deny the Bronx the knowledge of what his opponent is going to transition into. So he doesn't know there's land yet. There's Harvox coming out. That's actually a good play here. Very nicely done so far by the Bronx. And Frost just needs to keep expanding. And the important thing is not to let his opponent outspam you. So you have to either throw down another air or ideally another land here and keep expanding. Honestly, I would also not be opposed to transition into just a complete all-out push without the air. Just transition into land because Harvogs are sort of weaker in the beginning. We do have anti-air coming out, so that's, wasted research essentially. And Harvogs are not good enough in the early fight. So we'll see if Frost does choose to push here. It's also going to be very hard to defend these flanks. Especially if, the Bronx does this, spreads them, and then flanks. So it needs to keep expanding here. There is a land factory, so I actually would prioritize that. So that's a good choice by Frost. And, every game matters here. The other 1v1 that's happening on the B stream, go ahead and check that out for Orangeables. It is Osmos versus Hope. That is a big game, and that can go either way. So whoever, gets this win, I would say it's probably more important for the Bronx to win here. But I think it could go either way this series. I think it's going to be decided in the 2v2s. So we shall see. So far, the Bronx is actually not choosing to push out with his Harvogs. And I think I agree with Tanks here. I just don't think you need Harvogs. I'm sure he's seen them. I mean, his planes got fired up on. And yes, that's exactly what I wanted to see, honestly. No more air. We don't need it. He's actually using it as a radar to see if there's going to be flanks. Now, the issue here is that there's now a possibility of flanks that he cannot very well defend here. And even an all-out push here, well, the ACU can support the all-out push here, which I don't think will come. I think the Bronx definitely should be flanking right now, and if he's not expanding. So he needs to do something here very quickly, or Frost will start kind of running away with it. And the research advantage is not huge for Maganra yet because he went into Harvog Tech. And the important stuff there is... oh no. Okay, this is actually very, very scary here. I mean, the commander should be able to take care of it. This is just a very overwhelming response here. The ACU is not going to be able to catch up, so this is a problem now. This is a very big problem. There's now also a secondary push here with 2 Harvogs coming in on this 1 tank. Oh no. Yeah, this is how I foresaw Frost to start kind of getting picked apart here. Oh no, he transitioned into Harvogs too. Oh no. Okay, this is turning into a disaster, unfortunately. Unfortunately for Team Amogus here, this is turning into an absolute disaster. There's flanking Harvogs everywhere. Mass extractors are starting to be fallen. He's putting down a double land factory, but his economy is not going to be able to support it here in a second. Still not splitting up his army well enough. And Maganrai is just doing exactly what you need to do in this situation. He just did it a little bit late, I think. Air, okay, all the wrong choices from Frost, unfortunately. Air's restarting. There's absolutely no need for it. Especially now that you're... Well, there could be a need, but it's not going to do anything with all these Harvogs all over the map. And also, you need that mass for if you have any hopes of keeping up with land production. Harvogs, completely unnecessary. The reason why you go Harvogs is to help with this air. Now he's going to lose his air to boot. Yeah, this is looking very, very, very bad. If Frost manages to come back from this, it's going to be because the Bronx doesn't push out and doesn't expand. That's the only way. And even then, that's going to be a very, very hard ask. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly why we made the switch to air and Harvogs. There is 4, 5, 6, 7 mass extractors for Frost here. Yeah, teleporting coming. I actually don't necessarily like teleport here. I mean, teleport isn't going to do a whole lot for Morgan here, but at this point it doesn't really matter what he decides to do. I would honestly just go shields. Well, he already has shields, but stars and damage and just push out, because that's what you need. You don't need maneuverability in this case. It will definitely help, but I don't think it's the quickest way to a win. But who knows? Yeah. Now he's starting to expand, doing everything correctly here. And the B stream still hasn't started. So we might have to figure something out. I'm sure the game has started because it's a 5-minute delay, but for me it hasn't started yet. Teleport coming out here, and now it's going to be very, very difficult for Frost to do anything at all. Yeah, and Frost is, I think, going to call GG here in... Prediction, in about 10 seconds, he's going to call GG. Let's see if I'm right. By 11 minutes. Okay, I was wrong. I gambled it all away, guys. I gambled it. Why is there mobile missile launchers also? That's kind of weird. Oh, teleport from Frost also. A little too late. Oh, actually, he didn't lose his core mass. So, if somehow miraculously this army gets cleaned up... But no, there's like no production. What am I talking about? I'm trying to inject hope into this game, but he's playing Osmos. So... I hope you guys caught that. The other game has started, so gonna watch that a little bit. That should be an exciting match. Hope versus Osmos. I mean, they're practice partners. It's always an entertaining game, so go check that one out. It's super awesome. Again, on Spiff's channel, Orangeables, with an A, Orangeables. 。 . 。  . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . Single Harvok teleport. You know, I'll be honest, I'm still kind of been working on my teleport, but I'm kind of still confused exactly as to how it works. I need to... Because sometimes the units like freeze up, and it sometimes doesn't make sense because they're off cooldown, and I have enough energy. So it's kind of awkward, but yeah, another teleport right on top of the commander here. There's a point defense, but it's not going to do anything against bots. And yeah, this is just going to be a very, very... I was going to say quick, but it looks like slow death for Frost. He did his best in this situation, but I think when you see Harvog openings, you have to have a plan for protecting your flanks. And you absolutely have to defend that initial flank well. And you have to trade very good. And that's not something that's easy to do, especially when you're playing a, you know, a Serpent's Open winner. And a great player regardless, so. I mean, at this point, he's just throwing down band-aids on bullet holes. It's, it all came down, I think, to a not a very good split at the start. And honestly, he expanded. Yeah, I think it just came down to the not so good split. I think he needed maybe a land factory earlier as well. Frost does call GG. And I would say it's a good game. I think he did relatively well. He lasted 15 minutes against essentially... Well, it wasn't such a rush because there was research stations involved, but nevertheless. Decent effort by Frost, and let's see what the other game ends up in. Currently, the Cybran enjoyers are up 1-0. I'll be back with the 2v2 games. Let's go ahead and watch Orange Bulls and Casting Hope versus Austin.
We're here in this finals round with the 1v1 games, and we're going to go ahead and get started here on Armada Desolatia map. We'll start down here with the White Aeon commander. It is Hope, who's thrown down a quick air factory here. And Hope's opponent spawning in as the Orange Cybran commander. I don't know if that's just to tickle me there, because my favorite color, my favorite faction. It is Osmos, also throwing down a quick air factory, quicker even, and sending out that first air scout. Alright, well let's pull up that mini-map as well for you guys. And we'll see what happens. Another air factory coming down here by Hope. Osmos just filling in his economy here. He is going to scout out that second air factory, but he will lose his scout for it, it looks like. Yeah. I think that was a Control K even, which is a smart thing to do there, because that scout's not getting out. Alright. So just kind of settling in. Neither player really doing a whole lot at the moment. Research station goes down for Osmos, which I think is the right move before going into more air production. You're going to need that research because Aeon Air generally beats Cybran Air. Or at least that's the general wisdom. Cybran really does need those research points to help out. Although Osmos is not building any more air, just more research stations, and has thrown down this anti-air tower. So I think this is just going to be a straight tech build then. We're probably going to see him go into adapters and, I would guess, megaliths. That would be my guess. Meanwhile, Hope is moving towards, right across the center here. And Osmos not doing much to expand his economy. I mean, this is really all you need if you're going for that fast mega build. I might do 2 more mass extractors with it. It's going to be a bit slower just because of the air open. And yeah, Hope's still just looking to move across the map with that air cover. We did see like a 3-minute and 30-second mega unlock earlier in one of our meme games. It's not going to be that quick this game. Air Factory is now turned back on. Is that building an upgrade? No, I think that's just building air units. I think that the AA was already on it, so he's just gone back to building fighters now that he's got his research stations up. And Hope continues to expand through the north. Radar station goes down in the middle. So Hope is going to have very good map control and map awareness, whereas Osmos is just kind of stuck in the corner. No expansion and not a whole lot of economy, but also not a whole lot of production to put that economy into at the moment. Hope continuing to produce out of 2 air factories. And another radar station. That's pretty much, that's going to do it, right? I think that's going to cover everything. Well, not everything. He's not going to have coverage in the corners or around his main base, but all of Osmos' base is now covered. Another air factory goes down. I don't know, 3 research stations. Seems like a lot here. I think 1 or 2 might have been a little bit better and then move back into air production. So we'll see how this works out. There's not going to be very much air, and it's all being hid in the corner. Land factory going down, so we'll probably see some MMLs here, factory shield. Really just making sure Osmos stays in his corner. Scout going out to see what that is. Is there a radar? Oh yeah, okay, there is a radar there. And Hope is going to be able to catch these factories on radar and know that Osmos is producing air, but I don't think Hope is going to know how long Osmos had stopped producing air in the meantime. Land factory goes down. I am guessing we are going to see some adapters come out of this. That would be really the no-brainer thing to do here with those research points. Factory TML, though, will make it a little bit difficult to hold on to this position until that factory shield gets up. I really think that needs to be the first thing that goes on there, and no, it's an AA tower first on the factory. I do not agree with that move. I really think that should have been a shield, because that factory TML is otherwise going to just have a field day here. Okay, radar going up in the back to be covered by the other factory shield. And the wreck being reclaimed. It's always a little bit of a shame when you can't rebuild on the wreck. Now with those MMLs coming in, this is a really tight spot for Osmos. He's not having any room to maneuver. He's going to need more economy, and he's going to have to build back here. He's not going to have very much space for a gantry when he does get to Megalith. Finally, that factory shield goes up, so that's going to help out quite a bit. But this position is very well covered by the point defense. Actually, the point defense might hit the ground. Yeah, it can't quite fire at that loyalist even though it's within range. It's got to get right up to the top of that ramp before the point defense can fire on it. And these MMLs, well yeah, they can sit at the top of the ramp, but they're only going to really be able to reach this factory, so yeah. Another point defense on the ramp is a very good move for Hope. It's going to cover the MMLs and, again, give Osmos no room to move here. I mean, Osmos could come in and bomb these with his fighters, but he's going to probably lose all of them in the next engagement after that. Tanking with his commander and the point defense, I don't know. Factory does go down. Probably best to just reclaim it, put another one down further back, and that's what he does. Oh, putting down another point defense. So, yeah, PD push on the Cybran. A little late in the game, later in the game than we usually see a PD push, but here it is. And Osmos is just running out of time to make use of that research advantage. And he doesn't really have the economy to do anything with it. Factories keep going down. He's got like no production. Air factories have been stopped. He's trying desperately to get these factories up and get shields on them, but he just can't make it work with the point defense there. More point defenses coming down. This is just rude. Well, Osmos played a pretty risky strategy there. 3 research stations super fast at the beginning when he scouted the air. I don't think he was expecting a late PD push like this. Certainly wasn't prepared for it. He's getting Cobras of his own now to try and take down these point defenses. He only managed to build one Cobra though, and let's see, the factory, these have factory TMLs, don't they? Yeah, they must, yep. So those are helping out a bit. They've taken out a couple of point defenses here, and they're targeting the factory. It almost goes down. But what can Osmos do here, really? I mean, he can't really build his own point defenses. He can't get enough time. His factories can't... Oh, overcharge. Okay, that's one option for sure. Bombing run comes in and... Oh, that just destroys him. Didn't even seem like that many planes, but he had tanked so much from those point defenses that... Whew. Alright, well, Hope takes that game. We're going to check in with Nite of Misfortune in just a minute here and see where we're at, and we'll be back with another game in just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the final of the Team Clash Tournament 2021 edition. Finally, players are doing what I said. It is possible. Oh, maybe it's not. All right. Well, we are in our first 2v2. You can catch the second 2v2 on the B stream with Orangeables. Check that out. That game is going to be between Shade and Frost versus Iron Commander and Bean. But here we have Amogus versus Cybran Enjoyers. Let's introduce our players, starting with the first representative of Cybran Enjoyers. It is our red Aeon Commander, the Bronx, aka Morgan Ross, opening up with a double land factory. His teammate Osmos also opening up with a double land factory as the Aeon player. Both players are building off the cliff. I like it. I like it. They must have been watching my previous cast, which I know that Hope and... Well, actually, I don't know if Hope watched it. But anyway, their opponents are representing Team Amogus. It is Hope spawning as the white UEF player, and his partner Vanity opening up with a triple land factory as the teal UEF player. All right, so land and land again. There will be no air or no navy on this map. I don't think with these spawns it's necessarily a possibility, but it was never intended to do naval. I actually did this so that naval would be less possible, because if they were here, naval and floating would be such a big possibility here. But with this arrangement, it's actually not that possible. We already see a ton of mobile missile launchers all over the map. It looks like Team Cybran Enjoyers are getting a little bit of an upper hand here. And I will say that it's more important for them to do a lot of damage here and to ultimately win this game, because the other team, I would say, is a little more favored towards the Amogus team. The other matchup, that is. Yeah, and already a lot of damage from Osmos and the Bronx here. The Bronx is gonna get his mobile missile launchers out of position. Nope. Very, very tightly fought battles here. 2 tanks supporting a bunch of mobile missile. Oh, mobile missile launcher fire should not be killing mobile missile launchers. The Bronx is a little bit in trouble here. I wouldn't... Oh, he wants to pick out that factory. That is actually a really good move here. And it looks like Vanity is sending a couple of his tanks to help. There's so much going on here. There's so much to unpack. This is essentially a double Desolatia that's being fought right now. Okay, needs to be careful not to open up his front for Hope's army to come in now, because that would be very disastrous to lose a factory. However, I think Osmos has the upper hand against Vanity here on the bottom as a result of losing those 3 tanks. The Bronx needs to keep up with those tanks, which he will. I would almost send back. Okay, you still need a tank there. Oh, he can capture with the engineer. I think that should be fine. It just needs to keep up with it. Now, the Bronx is at half health almost. And Vanity, this is some weird stuff going on everywhere. I'm just going to keep it zoomed out and try to capture everything. The tank is coming in. The engineer is not responding yet. And meanwhile, there's a lot of mobile missile fire still happening here. The Bronx is at half health, needs to move under the shield. That gives him a really good engagement on the tanks, but still pretty even everywhere. This tank is not focusing down the engineer, and the engineer is not focusing down the tanks, or the tank. Okay, the Bronx is actually kind of low here, but so is Hope, somehow losing quite a bit of damage here. Probably was tanking underneath that shield or in front of that shield from the Bronx, and the Bronx loses his factory. That's going to be a big loss here as he's now down a factory, and now it's a little bit more crucial for him to keep up. And Osmos is all of a sudden in trouble here, getting caught out of position by Vanity's tanks as well. Decent engagement here for the Bronx. I mean, it's so close, guys. It is very, very, very close. Oh, no. Osmos is going to... Is Osmos going to... Nope. Okay. Yeah, that's actually a beautiful play here. Now Vanity is going to get caught out of position. So it's all going to be about this engage. A PD is going to be attempted to be built down here, but it's not going to be up in time. It's not even building yet. But now Vanity is caught out of position. Yes, a shield absolutely is needed here. Vanity needs to keep moving, do as much damage as he can. Magen Ra also engaging here on the bottom, bringing his commander. They're all super low, guys. This is so hard to keep track of. Meanwhile, the other B stream has started. Oh, no. Magen Ra has lost a big chunk of his army there. Osmos is also a little in trouble here. His commander is a little out of position there, but that gives him a good engagement on the tanks as well. He's up an army now, and now he can push. Vanity's cornered on the bottom. Meanwhile, there's an army from... Hope that's coming down here. That's going to help Vanity. Vanity's really low. He's going to explode here. Osmos really needs to save some of his tanks here. He doesn't see the army from Hope coming in. Oh my goodness. And now Osmos just has to back up. I think Control K a few things. Yeah, this is in trouble, but now that gives an opportunity for the Bronx to come back into this game. What a wild game, and exactly what I was hoping to happen on this map, guys. Really, really love it so far. It just needs tiny adjustments here and there, but so far I don't like that Osmos should not be sticking around here. Is there a point defense? I think there was a point defense that was being built, attempted to be built. Somehow there's a lot of damage on these tanks already, probably from the fight with Magen Ra. Osmos actually probably seen this. That's why he's trying to engage here. Is there ACU range upgrade? No, there is not. The ACU is not firing. Magen Ra is back into the fight, though, building his 4th land factory. Neither player expanding to the top expansions here. Osmos actually masterfully drawing the fire out, but I think he's actually going to die here. Oh, no. Oh, my goodness. He escapes with 2,000, almost 3,000 health. Oh, my goodness. This is insane. Yeah, I mean, I would honestly give the edge to Hope simply because he's about to get so much research here. But if the left team here stabilizes, might not be all that bad. Somebody already died in the other game. And I think it was Bean. But there's no way they could have killed him. That's super weird. Yeah, I mean, Hope you gotta... Or, sorry, Osmos, you gotta Control K these. You can't give that much. I think all of these are Control Ks, guys. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I don't think that was a Control K. This one needs to be a Control K. Osmos, wake up. You can't give research points. Air? Well, it's not terrible. Yeah, and all this free mass from Vanity's base, that's going to be kind of nice here. I mean, Magen Ra is just so thin. Somehow he had more production, but he's still so thin on units. And now he has to pull back. There's mobile missile launchers here. Oh, and there's going to be a flank too. Yeah, Magenra has to take care of these units here. Air coming in now, bombing. I would prioritize the mobile missile launchers. PD is actually doing a lot of work here. Is Osmos going to stabilize here? Osmos is going to stabilize here, guys. Oh, Beans lagged and crashed. That's what happened. Oh, man. All right, so this is... this is a 2v1 on both ends, guys. Who is going to get this? Is it going to be a tie? Or... Oh, man, I can't even. Like, there's a 2v1 on the other stream and a 2v1 here, but it's different teams that have the 2v1. Unfortunately, I have to give it to Hope here. Somehow he's pulling the cat out of the bag here for Team Amogus. Osmos really needs to start doing something. He is capturing a... oh, looks like he captured an engineer down there. Not bad. I think Magenra should ultimately be fine here. Okay, now he's focusing down mobile missile launchers, and I just don't understand why. That's actually not the right decision there. Magenra just needs to live. He needs to live, because if he dies, Osmos just does not have enough right now. Is there anti-air somewhere? Ooh. We have lags, guys. Someone is lagging. Hopefully it's not me. Iron Commander is doing his best on the other stream. I'm just watching. He's like microing his titties off against air bombing and like land bombing. Oh my goodness. All right, I think Hope had enough. He knows he has to make something work right now, or the other team will slowly but surely overpower him. And honestly, I think he is making it work here. Bombing ranks coming in, though, through the choke point. That is not the best way to engage here. Honestly, the Bronx, I would bring your commander back at this point. There's a lot of bombing going on. It's still quite a bit of health left. But no, no. The UEF power will slowly but surely overwhelm. This is insane, guys. The move by Hope to take out Osmos's base has paid off, ladies and gentlemen. Those tanks need to re-engage. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I don't think that Amogus, or sorry, not Amogus, Cybran Enjoyers can pull this out, honestly. There's simply too much land, too much production. He's going to try and build a radar here to give his partner some vision, but no, there's too much coming Osmos's way. He doesn't have much air at all. There's already anti-air on the field. What a wonderful game, guys, from Hope. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And unfortunately, I think it was... Yeah, somehow, like, Aeon just seems a little underwhelming on this map. And the funny thing is that they had early production, I feel like. Both Aeons had early production. And, I mean, Osmos was able to kill Vanity, but there was just not enough damage on the... on Magen's part. Maybe he mismicroed again. It's hard to keep track of so many fights. Guys, this map is incredibly hard to cast, because there's a fight on the bottom, there's a fight on the top. Most likely there's 3 fights. Osmos has been defeated, and I think Magenra will be as well. So it is all on Iron Commander to carry his team, ladies and gentlemen, to see if he can tie it up and send it to Game 3. Oh my goodness. If Iron pulls it out, guys, if Iron pulls it out, this is going to be insanity. But also I will be very disappointed in my OSS brother and sister if he manages to pull it out. Honestly, it looks pretty close over there. Oh, there's a megalith actually from Shade. So I don't know. I'm gonna go watch that game, guys, and we'll see if we get a Game 5. I really do sincerely hope so that we do. This has been an incredible game, guys. Honestly, one of the better ones. Thank you for watching. Let's go see how this ends. But regardless, we'll be back with Spiff, and we'll do a little bit of an analysis at the end. Thanks, guys. We'll be back.
Welcome back, everybody, to this finals 2v2. And we'll go ahead and introduce the players here on Waystation Zeta, starting over here, representing the B team and spawning in as the white Cybran commander in the air spot. It is OSS Frost, who's thrown down 2 quick air factories, as you would normally expect. And his teammate, not wearing the OSS clan tag, but spawning in this time as the purple Aeon commander, it is Shade. She has thrown down 2 quick land factories herself, again, as you would expect. And their opponents, representing the Cybran lovers. And spawning in as the blue Cybran commander, it is Iron Commander. And this is the first time I've actually seen anyone on the Cybran lovers team go Cybran. Or is it? I think it is. Yeah. And his teammate, spawning in as the red Cybran commander, and I can't quite get a good angle on him. There we go. It is Bean. And instead of going for the typical air that you would expect, he is spamming 3 land factories. So maybe just going to see heavy reliance on adapters here? I guess we'll find out soon enough. We do see Harvog's out from Shade, and she's sending those down to scout around the south and maybe pick off a mass extractor, but she's not going to find very much because Beans is just only on his starting 4, and he hasn't moved out of his main base yet. So I'm not sure how much these Harvogs are really going to get done. Meanwhile, Iron Commander is sending bots out to the front, and we're running into a little bit of lag here. And unfortunately, we have lost Bean. And Iron does not want a rematch. I think the rules would not call for a rematch anyways, because generally if you disconnect during a match, I would have to check. I think at one point we had a rule about if it's the first 30 seconds or something. I don't know. But Iron doesn't want to anyways, so we'll see what he's able to do here. If anyone can 2v1, it's Iron. But he's going to have a pretty tough time dealing with these planes. He doesn't have any sort of AA to speak of. And, yeah, just these bots. Okay, anti-air tower going down in a good spot there to defend both the top of the ramp and his main base here. Shade is going to get some bots into the back, though, and Iron's going to have a tough time fending these off. He's got 4 bots moving to the back to defeat this little push down here, and he has spotted out the push at the top. And Adapter's now rolling off the line. But yeah, that mass extractor is done. These bots will not get there in time. And what? This bot managed to sneak by, and Iron completely missed it, and so did I, because he was busy trying to save this mass extractor up here. Fortunately for Iron, that bot does not get anything done. Looks like Iron's got some factories queued up on the Rex here. That's going to save him some good money. He does have to have the full amount for the factory in order to start it, but then you get an immediate refund of half of the cost if you build on the Rex. So he's going to make use of the fact that his teammate was also Cybran. His ACU's just kind of hanging out up here in the middle of nowhere, though. Seems like a good way to get a lot of damage on you from those planes. Does want to clean up those tanks, though. That changes his mind. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, Frost is almost entirely filled in his eco here. Got a forward radar. And yeah, Shade also completely filled up her eco and is pushing towards the center, trying to push and hold. Iron is making a play towards the center, but it's staying pretty defensive here. The one advantage that he does have is that he can still get a really good economy going without leaving this main platform. Now, obviously, he can't get any sort of... I mean, he's never going to catch up to everything that they've got filled in on this side of the map. But there does get to a certain point where, I mean, you have like 12 mass extractors or so, and like you can't spend all that money, or it becomes very difficult to. I would say one of the things that really separates like a decent player from a really good player is that ability to spend money in the mid to late game. Pretty good bombing run here, though. It does take down 4 units. He loses 1 plane for her. Yeah, that's he. Had to keep track of which player is which color here. When it changes every game, it's tough to keep track of. Iron is going to make his own play for the center here, and I don't know. Research station going down by Frost. 1 lone bot in the back of the base there isn't going to get too much done other than a little bit of scouting. Iron, yeah, he's going to retreat from the center. He's going to push on the bottom instead. Sending all of his adapters down there to protect this flanking force, but there's not enough there to protect all of, or to stop all of the bombs. And so they are going to get through, no spread, and ooh, that's going to be another painful bombing run there. Alright, so the factory does go down. Some good damage getting done here, but this force is eventually going to get cleaned up. And there's not a whole lot that Iron can do about that. And it doesn't really give him an opening to push anywhere else either. He could try pushing in the center along with this, but the planes can just rotate back. He is going to push out into the center a little bit. I mean, the time is now. If you're going to do it, then yeah, this is the right move. But this is a very protected position here. And I'm positive this is for structured detonate, so that he can't Iron can't just push into it. Lots of research stations, and there's the Mega. So Iron doing a pretty good job here, though, of moving around and being a threat in different places on the map. But he's got to know his time is running out. Pushing up a ramp into those tanks is going to be difficult. Now he's being forced back by this push in the center here. So it seems like Iron kind of just knows he can't really go back. I mean, he could probably fight and beat this force here, but he's going to lose most of his army in the process. And so yeah, maybe it's better to just push, kind of try to go for a base trade. He's got a lot of factories back here, and a fair number of adapters, but it's not going to be enough to beat this army. Alright, so he looks like he's going to go back with his commander and this army. He's sending a little harassing force as well. No spread on it, so this is going to be a very successful... Oh, there was some spread. Very good. That's excellent, Micro. He managed to figure out which one they were bombing and just move that one, move everything away from that one. That was very good. Alright, nice varied bombing run there. Put damage on a lot of different units. Iron's having a pretty difficult time finding space to deal damage, though. And also protecting his main base at the same time. It does look like maybe he's got enough units here to push this away, but it's going to be expensive. We're going to see a unit detonate. Certainly threatening it. Maybe trying to... maybe he doesn't need it, so he figures, okay, I'll just... I'll threaten the unit detonate, and they'll think, they won't see it. So Shade will just think, oh, I can just, advance again and then run right into it. I don't know. Mind games? Could be. When you're 2v1, mind games are kind of a requirement. Alright, Iron does finally manage to clean that up. But now he's just kind of back in the same position he was in before. He's got some space in the center, but not a lot. And he doesn't have any room to expand. And he doesn't really have the units that he needs to defend from the rear as well if Shade decides to push our tanks around there. Alright, so again, strategically placed structures for detonate. And these air units are coming in. They're probably going to manage to take down a mass extractor or two, although I wouldn't be surprised to see more anti-air pop up. Yep. There it is. Alright, big engagement in the center. Are we going to see a detonate? I don't think I saw one yet. Oh, was that? I don't know. It might have just been units popping from the mega fire. Second mega is rolling off the line now. Third one in production. And I don't know, 6 factories versus 7 factories and 2 gantries. It's not looking good for iron. And there's a teleport right into the main base. This is going to be pretty difficult to deal with. I mean, yeah, he can clean this up easily enough, but if they just teleport away... Control K, so there's no structure detonate. Either that or he just decided Shade wasn't going to get close enough for it. You might see, I think, yeah, that's a unit detonate for sure. Yep, there it is, okay. Problem with unit detonate is that you lose your own units in the process. So it can be very efficient, but it can also leave you in a position where you don't have enough units to defend. Which Iron already didn't have enough units to defend. Good teamwork from Frost and Shade here. Moving those the blob of tanks and the mega together. I like the split too. There are a fair number of adapters here, but I don't think it's enough to stop the megas. They'll hold off for a little bit, but eventually the megas are going to break through and that area of effect damage is going to be pretty brutal. Iron taking an interesting strategy here, spreading his units out kind of in a line. Almost StarCraftian. Of course, that line doesn't matter much when your opponent has teleport. And is this the Walk of Shame? It might be. Yep, Commander calls, or Iron Commander calls PP. And yeah, that's it. Alright, well, 2v2 turns into a 2v1. Shade and Frost managed to take a win for the B team. And I think that's probably going to be it. I'm going to check in with Nite and see if we're going to have the final tiebreaker, and if so, he will probably cast it over on his stream. So thanks to everyone for watching. Thanks a lot to Nite for giving me my first sub today. If you had fun, drop a follow if you're not following already. Yeah, I think that'll be it. We'll throw the Be Right back up, but it might just switch over to the stream ending logo pretty soon here. So thanks again to everyone for watching, and probably catch you over on Nite stream in just a few minutes here.
If you're still watching, give a thumbs up to this video. If you liked the video, leave a comment. If you loved the video, please subscribe. And if you are blown away by it, check out my Patreon page. This has been Nite. Take care and peace out.